Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And welcome to my session 6 to 7 in the evening. I hope you are fully energized, inshallah. Let me try to get, Mani, is my slide on?
Yeah.
Okay, I share my slide. All right. Okay, tak apa. Okay, let me go there. All right. Okay. All right. Again, good evening, and I hope you are all fine. Well, 1 hour tadi, another 1 hour with me. You need to go to the K break. By all means, I pun cannot see if you go for your K break. Right. So the topic for today is towards innovative culture and mindset in business. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the business aspect of the innovative culture, right? So the big question is, what is innovation? All right. So if you look at the definition of innovation, ada banyak, there's so many type of definition. Merriam-Webster pun ada, some of this association of innovation pun ada. But what I'm going to share with you is the one that I'm sharing with you on the slide, on the screen though, is a process of translating an idea or invention into a good or service that creates value customers will pay. Okay, these are the things there. You see, value customers will pay, right? In business, innovation often results when ideas are applied by the company in order to further satisfy the needs and expectation of the customers. PMI, you're looking at the customers, all right? So where is the keyword here? So the keyword here is in the context of customer. So even business nowadays, they're talking about customer-centric. So this is what it's all about, right? Okay, now where does this thing called creativity and invention come in? All right. So this is where creativity is. Creativity is the generation of new ideas. There are many people are very creative. Okay, and they can come up with fantastic, brilliant, wonderful, beautiful, yang bukan bloody full punya ideas. They can do that very well. Okay, that's creativity. But innovation is converting the creative ideas into desired outputs. All right. At the bottom there, you look at invention to innovation. Okay. Invention is the creation of new ideas or concept, and innovation is turning that into commercial successes through widespread use. Okay. So when you go to market and you start to commercialize it, so that's where is you monetize your innovation. Okay. There banyak. If you look at in the Malaysia context, there are a lot of creative ideas. There are a lot of inventors, and of course, likewise, there are a lot of innovative ideas that has gone through for the last many years. In fact, I think recently there was an interview done by Tun Daim, and he specifically mentioned about innovation is being is in the new market. So you cannot go without it. Innovation is here to stay. Right? So far, so good. Now, what I'm going to share with you are some of the lessons learned from this big multinational corporation, which many years ago I had the opportunity to work for them, and also with their brands like Unilever, even Procter & Gamble. You see on the screen, and I was in Avon Cosmetic, and even with some other local GRC. For them, these big companies, contohlah macam Unilever, P&G, and Avon Cosmetic, their headquarters in Unilever is in London, in UK. Avon is in New York, and P&G is in Cincinnati. So they spend a lot of money on R&D. Okay, easily based on total revenue, maybe around 5% to 7%. Mind you, these are the Fortune 500 companies. They punya turnover, you're looking in excess of 200-300 billion. But still, R&D for them at 5-6%, you still cannot beat. Contohlah macam pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical companies, they're spending around 17%, 15% of the revenue to R&D. Okay, people like macam Pfizer, people like the Dow. Okay, these are the pharmaceutical company. And it's even bigger kalau you look at software companies. Software company macam Intel, they spend around 20% of their punya of the revenue on R&D. Okay, Dell and those people. So when I look at the big boys, I call them big boys because technically they are big in terms of dia punya turnover pun dia huge. For example, like macam Unilever Malaysia alone, the turnover is in excess of I think it's around 300 million or so. During my time, it was less than that lah. Okay, and there are certain ways and practices that they do in order for them to stay ahead. Okay, and I have summarized based on my research and my finding. There are 5 lessons we can learn from them in terms of how they harness their R&D to their innovation. One thing, if I can start with their organization structure, okay, and the way they organize their organization structure is very flat, of course. Now looking at metrics, but the instruction come from the top. Okay, so the top boss tu dah memang dia akan cascade dia punya innovative culture tu right from the top sampai ke bawah. Okay, and these are some of the innovation areas they cover. For example, like product, services, processes, customer experience, business model, and in fact the entire organization tu is slanted towards coming up with innovative punya product tu. Okay, same thing. For example, like macam P&G. But one thing about P&G, these are big boys. They buy, so they buy a lot of small companies that come up with innovative product. Okay, they buy up and then they turn into their subsidiary and they market the product. So P&G is very fond of that. During my time dulu, they acquire a Vaseline company, and then recently pun they acquire a few other companies. That the normal ways to do things. Even Avon pun they have a lot of good R&D internally, and they're very strong in US, of course. Kat Malaysia ni okay, but I think they really need to look again at their business model. They need to re-innovate their business model because in view of the change of the environment, okay, with the Gen Y coming in and Gen Z, especially Gen Z, maybe it is not their business model anymore. So they need to innovate in terms of that. Okay, so organization structure is, I think, that is one of the most important aspect in learning from these people. Okay, and of course strategy. Okay, I always like to say, if there's no strategy, then you get tragedy. So you have to have that long-term roadmap that is aiming toward what is your desired future. And my good friend, I think, is here, Sharul. If you need any assistance on strategy, he is the man. Okay, and then you can map it out in terms of what, 5 years, 10 years. The word strategy itself talk about longer years, right? More than 5 years. Okay, so you must have your strategy very clear, right? Okay, I think one of the important aspect also is the competitive advantage, because what this company goes for is to be different from their competitors. Okay, not only in terms of the competitive organization, but also competitive brands and product. So they want to retain that competitive advantage. Masa dulu, in the old time, for example, like the companies are differentiated whether you come from US or you come from Europe. So the European companies are seen to be more slow, steady, they move slowly but very surely. Whereas the US companies are very fast, they come in and then they come up with innovation, they come up with another one. So somehow or other, it may have to do with the culture both. Maybe the US and the European culture might be different. So to share with you, when I was in Unilever, we were very slow to react when the US company macam Colgate Palmolive, they come up with innovative product. So what happened during those days, British, they're very fond of bureaucracy. So we have to go through that bureaucracy, and I mean that, you know, that strategy, the culture is strategy, kan? So it doesn't work. So by the time we react towards the innovative punya launch of certain product, we lost out. We lost out huge in certain product in market share, which I will share with you later. Okay, these are real life story which I went through myself. So bukannya dongeng-dongeng, right? So again, the competitive advantage too, I think is very important. And sekarang ni you talk about the business model canvas. So now you also have business model innovation. So we can use the business model innovation to come up with to enhance our competitive advantage and also our value creation. Okay, itu yang penting lah to me. In order for you to move forward, you must have your competitive advantage. And resources. Inilah yang satunya, I think we are all losing out lah. These big boys ni, this multinational corporation and these people ni, dia punya resources tu huge, banyak, big. Not only in term of the dollar, but also in term of dia punya manpower, dia punya capability, dia punya capacity, and the way they commit the fund tu kan, I think the local boys ni memang kita tengok je lah, mampu tengok je lah. Okay? But notwithstanding that, because their market pun is global market, so they pump in resources into manpower as well as fund lah. Okay, even in Unilever where I used to work dulu pun, they have a department, a huge department called market research. And they would do a lot of focus group discussion, quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis. So there are people there headed by very senior people. So that department alone too, dia punya preoccupation is market research. So at that time, during those days lah, maybe innovation was like confined to these people. But if they were to operate in that kind of environment now, I think they're going to fail. Because innovation nowadays is inbuilt from top to bottom. All right, and then all this form into a culture lah. Nowadays, you're talking about innovative culture, and you eat, you sleep, you think, you dream. Everything you do is how you can be better, how you can improve, how you can kill the competitor. It's all war out there. So the innovative culture tu dah ingrained. In fact, when we launch a product during the old days lah, the moment we launch, dia punya second stage, third stage, fourth stage tu kita dah we already map out. Okay, what will be the second stage? What will be the third stage? What will be the fourth stage? So we don't wait for those horizon to appear. From horizon 1 tu kan, we already plan. I remember last time when we launched our comfort fabric softener, which is actually at that time it was like why do you need this product? Because you already have your detergent to wash your product. But we position it as something that make your clothes smell nice, easy to iron, pakai sedap, and then it become the in thing. Bila housewife pakai detergent, automatically they put in the fabric softener, and then after that it evolve into we have in strip, and then we have in not only one flavor, 2 or 3 flavor, in sizes. So these are some of the extension that we did lah. So all the while, bila we launch, we already have what's next. But I remember one instant, I was actually the brand manager for Breeze detergent. We have to react in this case. Okay, we have to react to the market. What happened was this, Breeze detergent was such a very popular brand. We were the market leader at that time, around 24-25% market share. Our competitor was Fab lah masa tu. People tend to imitate. So they imitate the cotton, the brand was cotton, and then they put it in the market and they sell slightly cheaper, and they got the market share. So we began to investigate why people complain, they kata when they wash their baju began to luntur, and then their fingers hurt. So I went down to the market, and then we check it out, and memang of course they imitate. Okay, we even investigate. I went to a garbage dump, tengok they do in one place somewhere in Puchong dulu, and they buy loose powder from China and pack into Breeze cotton. So in order to differentiate, what we did was we innovate the cotton. So by innovating the cotton, we make a difference in the market. Okay, this is the new Breeze cotton. And how we innovate, on the carton we have indentation, kita ada indent. So we have a mold that that apa tu, that press on the carton, so dia akan ada timbul lah. So that a bit more expensive for competitors to follow. So that's how we did. And then we managed to get back our customers because to us dulu our KPI is market share. So the moment you drop your market share, then you'll be in trouble. And so this has become ingrained lah. So if in other words, these 5 areas for MNCs that they have already put into dia punya fundamental organization structure, strategy, competitive advantage, resources and culture. For the local SME, for the S and the M, there's certain learnings that we can take from here. Okay, for example, like strategy, we need to have that. A competitive advantage. I notice more often than not when the local launch the mini product, they are very busy with the launch, right? I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's good, but you need to have a plan. Where will your product go in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years time? So you need to have that. And one of the important thing, we call it your competitive advantage too. So that is where that make your product or your company different from other people, and you have to defend that, right? So these are some lah. Actually, there banyak lagi lah in term of the what do you call that, the MNC punya innovation approach kan. I just summarize to 5 kat sini. Alright. Now, what does this tells me? Okay, you see there ada dua chart guys tu kan. There ada product life cycle, there ada product life cycle, product extension. So typically when we look into the product, when we launch, it goes through this 4 cycle lah. The introduction stage, the sale was low, and then as we go over time, it goes into the growth stage, the sales increases, and then it goes over time, then it matures. Then if you don't do anything, it will decline. Okay. So the time lapse tu depending on product. Okay, kalau technology product, handphone, computers and such, the time horizon is shorter lah. Tapi for some consumer good product, it can take a longer time, or even macam automotive, so it can take a longer time. Now, if you look at the slide on the product life cycle on the right too, product extension, if you don't do anything, if you don't do your product extension, it's going to decline. Okay. So having said that, what we look for when we launch, we are looking for the red flag lah, so to speak. Okay, one of the red flag is the sales punya volume. Okay, is it increasing, or is it leveling, or is it declining? Okay, so we look out for that, and also we look out for market share. The big boys boleh lah. I mean, they have a lot of money kan. They boleh invest in Nielsen index. Then dalam Nielsen index tu, they can every quarter they will tell you what kind of brand share you have in the market versus competitor. So from there pun good indication juga. Tapi we don't have to follow the big boys lah. For us, I think one of the best indicator is feedback from customer. Okay. We have a feedback mechanism whereby they bagi balik dia punya respon, and then we can do something for it lah. So the feedback mechanism is one of them, and the other one is kita tengok complaint, okay, whether there's any complaint. But sometimes we have to coax them, because sometimes ni bukan nak kata apalah, we tend to share only the good thing, the bad thing ni kita simpan. I find this typical in restaurant lah. Restaurant tu bila sedap je, okay lah, virus ada apa ni, they share kan. And then bila tak sedap dia diam. Adalah yang viral juga, tapi yang diam tu yang you are not able to react. Why is it tak sedap? That we can do something about it. So in this case, for consumer feedback, the other one is of course competitors. Okay, you tengok what are the competitors doing. So when they start to do something, then we have to keep our nose on the ground, our ears on the ground, and find out what exactly they are doing. Okay, but normally kalau local competitors ni, sometimes you can just snoop around, tengok dia punya website, tengok dia punya brochure flyer, maybe speak to dia punya apa tu customers. You can get some feedback from them lah. So if you feel that it is a threat to you punya product, then you have to do something. If not, you akan face the decline. Okay, and then you can have product extension. My experience dulu when I was in the FMCG market dulu lah. If you can remember, you ingat tak Zaitun toothpaste, Zaitun halal toothpaste kan? They came out with guna tanpa was-was. That was in the 80s. What they did when they launched guna tanpa was-was value proposition though, they really hit Colgate very, very hard. Okay, they hit hard. Colgate was at that time having 60-70% market share of the toothpaste market. And when Zaitun came in with that positioning though, value proposition there, guna tanpa was-was, slowly is eroding Colgate market share, and they got very worry lah. Okay. So what they did, ada banyak urban legend lah. Kalau what is true, maybe it's true. So ada talk that Colgate bought over Zaitun toothpaste. Okay, there could be some truth. At one time they bought over, and then after the moratorium they kill. So that's why you won't find that Zaitun guna tanpa was-was toothpaste anymore. So it is sort of died, and then Colgate also innovate. And they work together with halal jakim, and then they come up with halal. So all the ingredient, all the source of material semua halal. So now you look at the package pun dia dah ada tanda halal. So that reinforce balik dia punya position. Okay, so they're getting back maybe I don't know 60-70% of the market is huge, right? So even 1% market share pun is a lot of money there. So that is in terms of the innovation part, how they react to the market, and then they regain balik dia punya market share, right? The other one I like to share with you, if you look at the bottom left tu, Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy is from Unilever. Dia ni brand ni dah lama tu, around 1890 something dah ada dah. And dia punya positioning was dulu on health, and then they're looking at in Malaysia, they're looking at freshness, they're looking at family, those kind of thing lah. Tapi at that time, freshness, we had kita panggil credibility punya problem lah, because expectation and in use tu kan, you won't feel so fresh when you go out in the tropical market ni. You jadi berpeluh balik. So the freshness tu punya claim, there is a credible, we call it a cognitive dissonance kan. So what the brand punya expectation or the brand personality and the in use tu dia beza. So as a result that dia punya product life cycle tu, they went through intro, growth, maturity, decline, and then they tukar packaging, tukar perfume, and then pergi balik intro, growth, maturity, decline. So they have a lot of phases that goes like that. And they are not able to sustain unless they tukar baju, they tukar perfume, they tukar TV commercial, and then not recently lah, masa zaman SAR tu, severe acute respiratory syndrome, masa Nipah virus I think. So the market was very concerned about germ, about bacteria, about those kind of things. So what Lifebuoy did, they reposition dia punya value proposition tu. And they go R&D and they tambah, I think if I'm not mistaken, silver nitrate and then total 10 that kills the germ. So they boleh justify 99.9% kill germ. Okay, and then health for the whole family or something lah. Dia tukar dia punya positioning. Okay, they innovate, they tukar positioning. And then now dengan wash hand with soap lah, so they come up with apa ni yang pump punya packaging and stuff like that, and they did very well. Okay, because zaman dulu tu the medicinal, we call it medicinal section of the soap market tu quite small. The biggest one was macam beauty section, the beauty soap segment tu besar. Contohlah macam Lux, macam Chemist soap, Zest soap. Zest soap is fresh. Macam Main, these are the biggest section dulu. Nowadays the medicinal or the fresh section is coming up very huge, very big. Okay, dengan Dettol lah, dengan Lifebuoy lah, Sabix lah, what have you kan. So this become another important segment in the soap market. So that's why Lifebuoy with their innovation and their repositioning, they become big balik. Right? So this is what the product life cycle punya indication is lah. So it helps us to define where we're moving next. Bawah tu, I just want to show for the ladies, there's some lipstick. Even they have innovative lipstick. Contoh lah, they have the capsule release, they have the 12 hours, they have the 8 hours, then time capsule release, so that you look fresh, you look beautiful. You know? So they have that technology in there already, and many others lagi lah. Right? So important thing here when you look into product, when you look into services also, is to keep your eyes, your ears close to the customer. Okay. Now let me move to, okay. This is the money part of the innovation, because I borrow McKinsey punya 3 horizon of growth lah. Dalam apa tu innovation ni, you're looking at 3 horizon. Okay, horizon 1 is 1 to 2 years. Horizon 2 you're looking at 3 to 5 years, and horizon 3 you're looking at 5 years plus. Okay, so that's why when we launch, what I mentioned earlier just now, when we launch today, we already have on our master plan what will be the next move. Okay, the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. On plan memang dah siap. Okay, even on ground pun the second horizon tu memang dah siap. Okay. If you look at the chart on the left is the value, and on the right on the horizontal is time, on the vertical is value. Okay, so during the horizon 1 to 2 years tu, dia punya focus is to defend and expand the current core business. Okay, because this is the area when you just launch, and the customers are just coming in, so you want them to come in, more to come in. Okay, so if you remember kan, they are the innovator, early adopters. So these are the innovators and early adopters. Dia mula masuk. Even when you look at the handphone kan, when the mobile phone first came about, the innovators, they were sanggup to queue since pukul 11 malam before the store open pukul 10 pagi tu in KLCC or what have you. The moment the door open, boleh. Same with the recent, I think Samsung 10 or what have you kan. So these are the early innovators. Okay, and this in the context of product or services, we want to defend that. We want to expand the current core business. There is some flaw here I must share with you. Sometimes when SME, or for that matter when they launch a product, the first few months tu kan, orang beli, they buy. So they thought, wow, business is good. Okay, so everybody is buying my product. But don't get it wrong, because itu dia panggil pipelining. So when you pipeline your product to the market, people will buy because they want to test it out, because they want to see whether it's good or bad, or whether it's suitable or not, whether it's convenient for them or not. The real test is on the repeat purchase. Okay, so when they start to repeat the product purchase, that will be the real test. Sama lah macam kedai makan. When they first open a new kedai makan, everybody masuk. Okay, and then free makan lah, you can taste rasa sedap tak sedap, and then after that the real test, will that customer come again tak? So if they come again, then you know that okay, you got something good going there. But the moment dia hilang or they disappear, maybe you get to see them later lama-lama sekali, then maybe you need to fix back you punya marketing mix lah. Okay, so this is what we say in terms of the horizon 1 lah. Okay, when you look into the horizon 2 tu, the foster emerging new businesses tu, there be disruption. Maybe competitors pun dah masuk. Maybe you can get product cannibalization. Product cannibalization meaning within your stable product, your new product makan sales from the other product. So the volume from the other product dah kurang, the volume for the new product dah bertambah. So in other words, it's just exchanging within the product group. Okay, so it's cannibalize some other sale. Cannibalization is very dangerous kalau yang they cannibalize to give you more margin. The product give you more margin and they substitute for another product that give you less margin, they cannibalize the product, then it's an indication that you're losing margin. Okay, and margin is very important to any businesses for that matter. Okay, and during this time ni kan, you have the early innovators, and then you have the apa tu, you have the early adopters. Tapi you want to go to the mass market tu, the other level tu, that's where dia kata apa dia bridge the chasm kan, the divide tu, whether you can jump that divide and go for the mass market. Dia ada macam transition period tu, whether you can go for the mass market. That's why when we talk about Horizon 1, Horizon 2 for that matter, it's not only the product, but yang paling important to me is the distributive channel. The distribution channel, you have to take command. You have to make sure the channels are carrying your product. Now this, you know lah, you talk about social media, you talk about e-commerce, you talk about online marketing. So that is one of the channel to reach to your customers. Okay, but the traditional channels pun still relevant. They're not going to go away. Okay, the traditional store, the shop, the convenience store, the supermarket, they're not going to go away. So that has to be beefed up also. Okay, that's talk about Horizon 2. Then when you go forward, Horizon 3, this is where the transformation will come in. You're looking at new technologies, and then probably change of customers and market dynamic. Dia punya taste tukar. Last time we have the baby boomer, you have the Gen X, you have the Gen Y, now you have the Gen Z. And this millennial, they're changing everything. So you have to cater for them. Okay, so when you sit for future business, these people, they're going to become one of the major components in your target market. Okay, so you must be prepared for the new market dynamics. Macam sekarang lah, what's happening exactly right now, especially with the MCO, the next alternative course of action is to buy online, and this online sale has become a feature of dia punya ecosystem in this business. Okay. So much so kita kata if you don't have a channel in this online sale, you're going to lose out, right? So despite we have good innovation, good pricing, good promotion, but if you're not able to reach to your customer, everything fails. Okay, so this is sharing with you the McKinsey time horizon. So much McKinsey time horizon pun cakap in terms of investment, they will use 70-30-10 apa cakap ni 70-20-10 rule. 70% of the investment is in Horizon 1, 20% is in Horizon 2, and 10% is in Horizon 3. So the allocation for the fund tu kan is already allocated. Even Horizon 3 tu is like 5 years and above. So there are already funds allocated for that, which can be used now. Right, so this is the McKinsey 3 horizon growth. Just to share with you juga lah, I mean, I was also in automotive at one time below. If you look at innovation kan, and on the top left, the Saga was I think launched in 86, 85, 86 lah. What it has evolved. You like the middle one, that it has evolved over the years. All right, even the Kancil, which came out later, it has evolved to this, and I think at that time, Ion had huge market share. Easily, masa tu before Prodor came into the picture, they're commanding around 70% of the market share of the local manufacturing car, and Prodor came in with around 30% or so. And that time, very interesting. Even our population very small, but the car market is huge. New car market is around 500,000 a year, 600,000 a year, despite the reasonably small population size lah. Okay, where the turning point came when Prodor launched their MyV. Okay, they launched their MyV, if I'm not mistaken, in the 90s code. in the early 90s or so, and they launched the MyV. They innovate, they have features, and they sell at a good price. They started to take volume from Proton. Okay, so Proton start to lose market share during that time because MyV. I think the thing was that Produa, they had a Toyota and Daihatsu punya technology platform, and they're using that in terms of the innovation in the car, features in the car. It became better, and pricing was good. So slowly they took away the Proton market share. Okay, dulu I think on the high days was 70%. Then I think now maybe less, maybe 40, or I'm not sure the figure, but still Produa is having a good market share. They come up with Beza. Beza is also doing quite well. I think around 40,000 cars a month before the MCO too. So to counter that, and then the innovation come in. Then you have Proton pun dah keluar dengan X70, which actually is China punya technology, and then X50, and then Proton Arus lah, and and dia punya SUV and stuff like that. So it's a big competition out there, right? I just put the push-based innovation model and pull-based innovation model. It's just to create the difference lah. The push-based innovation model tu dia lebih pada internally driven and technology oriented. Okay. In fact, during my time dulu, it was very much a push-based, but later on they changed to hybrid. Now the pull-based innovation model tu, they're looking into the customer and market oriented. They're looking into adapting to changing market, customer need, focus on listening to customers, learning from them, and moving very fast. So sekarang ni most of the organization in terms of innovation model tu, they probably have a hybrid, push-based and pull-based. Okay, so push-based ni is limited to what you have. Okay, this is the technology I have. This is about what I can do. Okay, how pull-based, you're looking to the customer's point of view, right? All right, so just a little bit about push-based, pull-based, and going to the next slide. All right, so these are some of the innovative culture lah. Kalau nak kira, there's a lot of what they call the innovative culture that is embedded lah. Banyak sangat. Okay, so what I did was I'm trying to crystallize, and I put it into five innovative culture, right? And belief, aligning strategy, process, create a roadmap, and of course leadership too, very important. Okay, I put at the back leadership because it support the rest kan. So if you look at the belief, okay, I think what is important here, there must be a strong belief system and commitment towards innovation. It has to be an inclusive process. Okay, the belief system. It's not just lip service. It has to go deep down. Okay, you have to go within all levels of organization, so that you're clear, okay, why we do what we do and what really drives us, that bring meaning to our life and organization. So the belief in terms of moving forward, the innovation culture has to be ingrained in you. Okay, you have to have a strong belief that this is the one, this is the differentiator. The belief, bukan hanya lip service, but in what you do, right? Aligning strategy is also important because the alignment of the innovation within the core strategy though, it has to be clear. Okay, what you want is your left hand and your right hand going together and align between the core strategy and the innovation. Okay, because why? Then it goes back to your vision, your mission, and your objective statement. Okay, what is your vision? Contoh lah, when I was in Avon dulu lah, during my early days, though, the vision is very clear, committed to women. So when their vision is articulated as committed to women, whatever mission statement, whatever objective, whatever aligning or strategy kan, is all towards commitment to women. Okay, so that in terms of translate dia punya product, we call it CFT, cosmetic, fragrance, toiletries, and then we add on home product, we add on intimate apparel, we add on anything that costume jewelry and stuff like that, anything to do with women. So the vision is committed to women, right? So and we translate further, we say committed to the want, needs, and aspiration of women. So bila kita articulate that kind of vision statement, whatever the strategy that align is anything and everything to do with women. Tetapi in that context ada juga men punya product. Okay, we have men punya product. But it's not that banyak lah. It's just like macam, by the way, if you want men talcum, we have men talcum. Men underarm, we have men underarm. Stuff like that. But I think 90% is very much woman punya product. And it is so innovative, especially when you talk about colors. Kan? That time when you talk about colors, especially the lipstick, the eyeshadow, and the foundation and stuff like that is very technologically advanced. Even we have colors for warm clothing, colors for cool clothing. So you can differentiate colors when you during you pakai attire warm, then your lipstick and your makeup will be warm color. When you pakai attire cool colors, then your lipstick and your makeup will pakai cool color. So we have that differentiation. We have the time release, and we have foundation and stuff like that. All right. So aligning strategy with the vision, mission, and objective statement, so that it will lend credibility to what we do. All right. Now the processes too, it has to be clear also in terms of what are the methodology. Okay, when we talk about getting into the innovative culture, what are the processes involved? Okay, the steps, the process, the methodology, and we want to create dia punya SOP, the standard operating procedure for that. Because some industry, for example, like macam back to cosmetic industry, there's certain rules that we are bound with. Okay, at that time, yang paling famous sekali masa tu was the use of mercury, was the use of some other banned ingredient. So that SOP has to be very clear. And then we have to adhere to Kementerian Kesihatan punya the guideline for traditional medicine, for cosmetic, for over the counter. The guideline. So all the processes SOP to must take that into account. Even for automotive also, when we look into innovation, you have to adhere to certain guidelines in terms of safety, in terms of technology and stuff like that. Even US also very strict in terms of dia punya automotive punya guideline. Like food, if you handle food, for example, the food processes in terms of the SOP, you have to comply, you have to adhere, right? Okay, and I think the important one is also creating the roadmap lah. Okay, when you create the roadmap, you develop the detailed design plan or what exactly is in the innovation roadmap. It's not only just organization, it goes by product, it goes by brand, it goes by line. So dia punya roadmap tu can be very detailed. Okay, if you look at organization as a whole, depend on where you are, because if you're at the top lah, if you're at the top level management, contoh, you're more into compliance, you're more into increased profitability, you're more into regulation, you're more into expansion, joint venture and stuff like that. But the one at the bottom on the operation level, then you're preoccupied with the product itself or the services itself, how you can do better, how you can be more efficient, how you can be more productive. So depend on which level you are. Okay, so you have to create different roadmap at different level. Even management roadmap, it has to support the operation roadmap. Okay, and operation roadmap have to contribute to management roadmap, and the top management punya roadmap is lagi, the horizon is even longer, 15, 20 years maybe. Okay, you have to create that kind of roadmap. All right. To me, importantly is the leadership lah. Okay. So sometimes leadership ni kalau nak tengok, maybe nowadays we have a lot of young people heading the organization, and they are very fast, okay, in their decision making, and they are very innovative, and they themselves pun sometimes come up with fantastic ideas, kan? Because when you talk about leadership, you're talking about motivating you punya employee. Okay, you have to motivate them, because as a leader, sometimes why it fail, because kalau we go into innovation punya culture ni, you takut kalau the product the thing don't perform, and then you get penalized. Okay, the moment you get penalized, that's it, and then you shut you punya creativity and you punya inventive punya juice. Okay, so leadership must see a failure at innovation level tu actually is a normal part of the process. Okay, in creating something new. Okay, in fact, you must look at the overall process rather than you look at that particular stage. Okay, so this is where, to me, leadership ni must prove and must show that they are with you. Okay, never mind, it's good to make mistake. Let's learn from mistake. Let's move forward. Okay, rather than they penalize you. Okay? And also the reward system. Leadership pun must build in the reward system. You're successful, then you'll be rewarded. Okay, itu ada encouragement sikit lah. If not, then doesn't make any difference to you. So you must have that reward system as well. Okay, and also leadership, you must provide the relevant skills training. Okay, so the skills training to for them to enhance their punya specific skills in that particular department ke, in that particular section ke, so that you can look at bigger and better ways and more perspective in terms of improving the processes or the product that you're doing right now. One of the thing that I tend to allude to is sometimes in terms of being innovative, you have to pick up a hobby. You have to do something that is outside the work culture. Okay, do something that you love best, and from what you are involved into those things, hobby or a certain passion, it will open up your horizon better. Okay, and the solution for your work processes might come from your hobby. Okay, because as someone said, when you use your conscious mind to solve a problem, you're limited, because your conscious mind is around a certain percentage, 70% of your total output, of your total capacity. So you have a lot of barriers, you have a lot of challenges, you have a lot of negative there. But the subconscious or the unconscious part of your mind will have a lot more solution to the situation at hand. So the moment you forget about it, the solution will come up, because your subconscious mind dia tak ada barrier, dia tak ada hurdle. Okay, it will open up. But the moment you become conscious, then you start to put in your hurdle. Okay, so embed the innovative culture in terms of belief, aligning strategy, processes, create roadmap, and of course, leadership. So these are some of the things that we can begin to do already for the small organization. Now, finally, we are looking into what is the innovative business mindset. So there are four things here. Of course, develop is to develop. Innovative is one aspect. And then business is another aspect, and then mindset is another aspect. How do you fuse all these things into an innovative business mindset? This is where I mean, when I was doing the research, this is where the tough part come in. It is very tough, because you want to try to crystallize and what do you call it, funnel into maybe few simple business mindset, innovative business mindset. Which lead me to growth, which lead me to focus, which lead me to agile, which lead me to being to enable, okay, or enabler. Growth, I think this is the tussle now. You're talking about a fixed mindset, a growth mindset, or a fixed mindset. Because kalau you're looking at the fixed mindset, then you tend to see things from a narrow point of view. You don't take up a lot of challenges. Criticism to you is you take it personally. But if you have a growth mindset, in other words, when you develop innovative business mindset, you have to have a growth mindset. Then you're looking more into the strong will. Okay, what do I need to succeed? Okay, what can I learn from failure, or what can I learn from criticism? Okay, what are the challenges that I can embrace? Okay, and what are some of the effort and the persistent, the resiliency that I could put in, because I want to because I have a growth mindset. Okay, so this is where I think the turning point comes in lah. Instead of a fixed mindset, we need to start slowly work into a growth mindset. Okay, maybe this is where Cik Hanafiah profiling tool maybe can indicate what are the areas from the profiling tool that you can develop into a growth mindset. Okay, the hand holding, the coaching, the mentoring and stuff will come in. Right? So growth mindset. The other one is focus, because I noticed some of these successful innovators ni they're very focused. Yeah, very focused, dia punya burning desire tu kan, they're not easily distracted. Yeah, kalau ada benda yang nak distract tu memang dia tolak tepi je. So they are focused in terms of what they want to achieve, and they are not easily apa orang kata derailed by meaningless activities. Activity yang not contributing towards their innovative mindset, innovation tu, they just KIV or put it aside. Okay, the desire, the burning desire, the focus is very strong. Right? So growth mindset combined with focus. Agile has been the talk of the town lah for the last couple of years kan. Agile mindset lah, agile team lah, scrum team lah, and so on and so forth. I think it has some benefits in terms of having an agile mindset, because kita boleh cultivate the agile mindset tu through, of course, collaboration dengan other people. We out of the silo. We look into respect. We take ownership, and we have the ability to adapt to change. Okay, we are quite flexible there. We are not rigid. Okay, so being agile, we can create high performing team, for example, and they can focus on contribute towards the innovative aspect of the organization. So the agile. So that, I suppose, is one of the important business mindset, because see, when you say agile team, agile is made of individual. So you can have a team, but you might not be agile. So that's why you need to have first an agile business mindset. And then you have the like-minded people, then you can create the high-performance team. Okay, and the other one is actually is big enable, because certain things being an enabler too. I think this is where the change agent come in lah. Okay, because being an enabler, you make things happen. Okay, it's not just on theory, but we put it on plan, and we make the plan work. Okay, you must understand what are the pain point, what are the touch point, what are the critical element that you need to do, or you need to provide solution before you can implement your punya innovative business proposal or business initiative. Okay, growth mindset, highly focused, agile mindset, and being an enabler. Okay, and get it done. If not, then it's just on plan and nothing happened. All right. So, having said that, I have come to the end, and thank you to you. Unless you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach. Okay, ada one question here. Right, what is your view about the innovative culture in Malaysia as compared to other developed countries?
Oh, maybe this question also boleh tanya Cik Hanafiah, because this involves some of their punya traits juga. But if you look at the developed country tu, when we say developed country lah, you have to define macam Japan, Korea, You're looking at US, you're looking at Germany, you're looking at UK, you're looking at Finland, Sweden, you're looking at some of these highly developed country. So it has become to them kan macam second nature. But be careful juga what happened to Nokia punya situation masa they lost out because of the Samsung and the iPhone punya revolution dulu kan. So they're slow to react, but maybe they're slow to react on the consumer side, but on the technical side, technology side, they're still relevant. Tapi in terms of that culture tu, I think we have a long way to go juga lah. Most of the time, sometimes kan nak kata apa, we are very comfortable even in our comfort zone. Okay, so we need to get out from that comfort zone, and then we need to map out our innovative strategy properly. Bukan nak kata jauh lah, even you look at Singapore for that matter, they are quite advanced in terms of their innovation. Korea bukan banyak resources, dia very limited, but they have people who are very hardworking, very forward looking, very agile, okay, very focused, growth mindset. We have to start going into that area. Kalau tidak, we'll be like behind. Okay? And inshallah lah, maybe the new generation, the Z generation, the Y generation, maybe they will probably lead us towards having a better handle on the innovative culture lah, inshallah.
Okay, alright. Thank you so much, Coach. Okay, got any more questions that you want to ask? Okay, I think that ada. Alright, so a few points yang I can pick up from your session today is, okay, if you have no strategy, you will have tragedy. Okay, and then the real test for our business is on the repeat purchase. That's a very important. Okay, to test your business. Okay, alright. Okay, with that, I think we will end our session today. And thank you so much, Coach Rashid, for very informative session and information. Okay. Alright. Thank you so much, all participants. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay. Bye bye. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.